All right, thanks for coming back with us. Next game we want to talk about is the OTF versus Haters Gonna Hate. Now, Haters Gonna Hate is coming off of a loss. They lost to Power Circle last week, 20-14. OTF had a doubleheader. They lost to Primetime, 28-8, but then they was able to turn it around and beat Bullies 29-12. Would you say the first thing you think about when you hear about this Haters Gonna Hate team? I'm sorry, about this OTF team.
A team with a lot of fast guys, a lot of athleticism. I've seen one of their main guys, Harris, play before, and I think that he is very talented, up and coming, still young, but he's one person that can kill you if you let him. I've seen Ty play a little bit. He's pretty good. I've seen a couple of these guys play, and they're a team that can compete. They're a team that can give any team problems if you let them. When they get space, they can make some plays happen, especially on offense, and they're very athletic that can make defensive plays. So they're a team that can do a little of everything, but it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to face this Haters Gonna Hate team. What do you see from the opposite side?
Haters Gonna Hate is a team that's known in this league. This is Butter's team, and they go with Crazy at quarterback. Crazy has shown very much to be inconsistent. I love Crazy's energy. I've been seeing Crazy throw for a long time, but I still see Crazy make mistakes that he's always made in his career. So you got to understand that Crazy's going to throw an interception here or there. He's going to give you energy.
Yeah.
And the man is going to give you everything he got, but he's going to make some mistakes. That's why I think it was interesting that this team, as we saw in the first game, Wolfpack players was Mr. and them was supposed to play a Wolfpack. Well, they end up going and play for Haters Gonna Hate. So Haters Gonna Hate is going to add Ronnie, they're going to add Lob, and they're going to add Mr. And I think that is a big position, especially as far as Lob and Ronnie go. The thing about Mr. is these two guys played together before. They played on the same team where Crazy threw in one division, Mr. threw in the other division. So I think it can work. But the question is, did you bring in a quarterback controversy? It's not that you brought Mr. because Mr. wasn't here in the beginning.
Yeah.
So now you brought him in, what message do you think it sends to Crazy?
That at any given time he can be taken out. The funny thing is, not to just pivot to a previous game, but Mr. is already coming off of his own controversy, being invited to another team to play with the Wolfpack, and he didn't get a chance to play. Now he has a Haters Gonna Hate jersey. So he's walking away from one controversy and stepping into another one. And with this one, they have an established quarterback in Crazy, but now they have a second option there. So now Crazy has to understand this is what Gio is showing Crazy, that at any given moment you're struggling, we could take you out and we could put Mr. in. So Crazy got to know to, stay on his toes and try to stay as accurate as possible and not try to take any risks that he doesn't need to, because at any given time his starting job can be in jeopardy.
We're going to jump right into the game with Lou getting the start on OTF playing against Haters Gonna Hate. Lou with a short pass to Harris, who runs across the field for a decent game, picking up the first down. Second down after a short pass, Lou finds Ty cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Grizzlies not quick enough to guard him at safety. 6-0. Ty just too fast. Grizzly had no shot, and Lou was able to find him and make them pay for that.
And the thing about that is I believe Grizzly is actually playing in a safety position.
Yeah.
And that is a big mistake right there. Lou sees it right away. And if you notice, two of their main guys, two of their fastest guys on the team, Ty and Harris, gets the ball in this one drive and it drives them to the end zone easily. So they got to make some adjustments. I see Grizzly as a physical defender, but there's too much space for him to cover, and because these guys are fast, that's why they were able to get into the end zone.
Crazy gets the ball after a short pass for the first down. Crazy going to throw the Grizzly in the gap for a decent game. Third down, Crazy with a pass in the middle of the end zone, high, incomplete. Was this pass interference? What do you think?
And I think on this play, I think that there may have been some early contact there, but it looks like the pass was uncatchable anyway, so it ends up being an incomplete pass regardless.
Fourth down, Crazy rolls right with Gio Block, and Alex runs around, and Crazy is sacked. Turnover on down. That is a big stop by this OTF team.
And one thing I didn't mention before about certain guys that you need to talk about with this OTF team is Alex at the ball giver. He is a big guy, but he's fast for his size. And he's able to run right around Gio. That's a miscommunication between Crazy and Gio, who doesn't know where Crazy's lining up. Crazy's calling for him to line up with him to roll right, but by the time Alex is starting to run, it's too late and he gets the sack there.
Lou's gonna throw to Bobby in the gap, who runs for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down after a short pass, Lou on 5 rush, throws to Harris, catching in the middle, tipped by Ronnie at giver, incomplete. Fourth down, Lou throws to Harris on the sideline, who's tagged short of the end zone, turnover on downs. And I think it was that play on second down where Ronnie got his hand in to make it incomplete that really hurt them. I like the fact that you got these new additions making plays. This is the first one of the new additions making a big play on that tip, and Harris is falling short of the end zone on fourth down. That's a great stop by this team. Second down, Crazy throws the lob, cutting in the gap, picked off by Bobby, giving the ball right back. If you look here, Crazy doesn't even wait for Gio to block. Chino is wide open on the other side. These are two crucial mistakes by Crazy, and this is what I'm talking about. He has been playing this game too long to be making the same mistakes he has made his whole career, and here's another one.
And I think that his main problem is he doesn't spot where the defense is lining up. Sometimes he gets baited, and one thing about Crazy is...
Sometimes he gets baited?
Well, yeah. A lot of times he gets baited. And the thing about it is, if you don't notice who's out there on defense, who's playing in the secondary, if they're fast enough to cut off your passes, I don't think Crazy is able to read that all the time, and because of that, this is another interception he throws here.
Harris on second down runs in the gap for a decent game with blocking. Fourth and goal, Lou throws the tie open on the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Ronnie let him go, leaving Cheese guarding 2. 12-0 OTF.
And if you see right here, Ronnie admits that it was his mistake on this play here. Because you follow one receiver that's cutting around your way, you leave Cheese guarding 2 guys. So was you playing zone? Was you playing man? That's a clear miscommunication between the defense, because you can't have one guy playing man and the other playing zone, because that's how you leave one guy isolated with 2 guys on him, and that leads to a touchdown.
Second down after a short pass, Crazy throws to Kadeem in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. Then Crazy finds Kadeem again in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Harris reacts too late, gives up the touchdown. Ty gets the extra point, 12-7. Haters gonna hate on the board.
And after a few mistakes that Crazy makes on the field, he's able to recover and able to get Kadeem into the game.
Yes, exactly.
Get Kaheem into the game, help him drive down the field, and able to finally put some points on the board. When Crazy's able to move the ball consistently, chopping up the field, I think that's when he's at his best. When he tries to overthink too much, that's when he makes his mistakes. But when he's cool, collected, and he's hitting his guys that he needs to, he's able to score.
Okay, we're gonna show the balls on the kickoff, and usually the only time we show it is when something happens. If you look here, the ball drops. Discombobulated that they don't know what they're gonna do, but Ty is able to pick it up, shake one defender. Harris with a great block here, and Ty runs it all the way on the sideline to the end zone. Bobby gets an extra point, 19-7 OTF. And before you get on that play, first of all, great play by Ty, and I'll let you talk about Ty. But this block by Harris, you know what Drago says, man.
He does.
Great block by Harris, and he got a body.
And the thing about it is, once he got that block there, it was all to the races for this man, Ty. Nobody was catching him. He is too fast. And the thing about this is, this was a play where the defenders, the defending team was able to make a big play, because they didn't even know where the ball was going.
Yeah.
And then once Ty got the ball, he makes that one move. Harris with that block, all to the races. A completely discombobulated play turns into a kick return touchdown.
19-7 OTF. Crazy's gonna throw on the sideline for a decent gain to pick up the first down. Then Crazy again to Kaheem in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Crazy throws the tie in the middle, getting him to the 5-yard line. Fourth and goal. Crazy finds Lob in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Ty gets a 2-point conversion. 19-15. OTF still with the lead, but haters gonna hate, creeping back in. And Lob making a play this time. We've seen Ronnie make a play with a tip, We've seen Lob now get involved, and Crazy knows Lob. They play together. Crazy finds him. Way to get back in the game, 1915.
He's not hesitating. He's quick hiking the ball, and he's hiking these plays, and he's throwing these passes quickly. So as long as, like I said before, he's not overthinking certain plays, he's able to drive down the field effectively, and he's able to score yet again.
Harris is going to get the ball for OTF on the return, getting him to the 30-yard line. Lou throws it up before half. Incomplete pass, taking us into the half, 19-15 OTF.
And I'm going to say this. I got to speak on OTF. Right now, they have complete control of the offensive side of the game. But their defense has been kind of slacking off towards the end of the half, and that's how they gave up those 2 touchdowns at the end of the first half. If they wouldn't be doing that, this probably would be a game that they could put away easy. But their defense has to step up. Crazy is not a person that's going to kill you downfield.
Right.
So those short passes, those gaps that he's getting those passes into, they have to clog that out. Force him to throw downfield. Because Crazy's not a quarterback that's normally able to do that. You got a couple of plays, you got a couple interceptions by forcing them to throw some passes. Do that again in the second half, and they have a better opportunity to make some stops.
Haters gonna hate had the ball 4 times. And Crazy's normally known as a slow starter. He got stopped. He threw a pick, but he has scored on his last 2 possessions. This is the Crazy we need to see. Limited turnovers. He's gonna throw an interception here or there, similar to an Eli Manning. He's going to make mistakes. That's just his game. But he's also going to make plays. These new additions been making some plays of the game. Crazy just got to get on the same level as Gio as his blocker. Give him time and let him make plays. Now, this defense has to learn to be more consistent. They gave up a touchdown, then made a stop. Gave up a touchdown, then gave up a kick return, and then they made a stop. This defense has to get a little bit more consistent and make it a little more difficult for this OTF team to score. We're going to jump right into the second half. Third down, Crazy throws deep to Mister on the sideline. Picked off by Harris. Give the ball right back to OTF. If you look here, Gio and Matthew was open short for the first down. And Crazy does what Crazy does and throws another interception in the second of the game.
And this is what happens when you have Crazy throwing downfield when he doesn't need to.
And he's throwing a Mister.
Yes, and that is not his game. And the thing is, if you look at where Harris comes from, he comes from midfield. And he comes and takes this ball. One, that shows that the ball had too much air under it. Crazy's not a person that has a gun for an arm. He can get it down there, but it's going to take some time for that ball to fall. And because of that, Harris has the speed to get that interception. Great defensive play by him.
19-15 right now, OTF. Second down, Lou's going to throw on the sideline for a decent game, but Grizzly gets flagged for hitting with the shoulder 15 yards. What do you think of the call?
I think that this was a merited call because he was, first of all, he was out of bounds. So that was kind of unnecessary. The funny thing is, Grizzly argues, but he's out of bounds. That doesn't give you the reason to do the shoulder to hit without extending your hands. So one, you hit him when it's unnecessary, he's already out of bounds. So that's merited another flag. But because you didn't extend the hands, even if you weren't unintentionally doing that, it's still a flag. Unfortunately, that is a big play that they gave away for the defense.
These guys' arguments be crazy. I don't understand. Third and goal, Luke tries to run on 5 runs, but it's tagged by Crazy for a small gain. Fourth down, Lou's going to throw to Harris in the front of the end zone. Knocked away by Ty. Turnover on downs, and that is a great stop by this HGH defense.
And one thing I got to give them is that they were not rattled by that penalty. They rallied together. They kind of closed up the gaps, and they were able to stop them anyway. So that Grizzly penalty did not hurt them because they were still able to stop this offense and cause a turnover.
HGH goes another way, and they bench Crazy. Mister comes in. Now, Mister was supposed to throw with Wolfpack. He didn't throw, came to HGH, and is throwing the same day that he joined the team when the team already clearly has a starter. I think that's amazing. Now, mind you, Crazy has scored his last 2 possessions. He threw a pick, but on his last 3 possessions, he's 2 for 3, but they bench him. See what happens? Mister throws the tie in the gap for a decent game. Fourth down, Mister throws on the sideline. The receiver's tagged short before getting the first down, turnover downs, and they give the ball to Mister, and Mister gets stopped. What do you think of that?
You have the guys arguing, saying they got the first down. But if you look at this play here, as he gets the ball, before he falls over the first down line, he gets tacked. So that's clearly a turnover on downs. Good way for OTF to clog up that lane and cause a turnover here.
Lou's going to get the ball. He's going to throw to Harris in the gap. Dodges the tag, cuts inside, into the end zone, for the touchdown. 25-15. If you look here, no life on the defense. They're dying, and I think that happened once they made the quarterback switch. The defense, like, we don't have an offense. Something ain't going right, and they gave up this touchdown. 25-15, OTF.
And the thing about it is you can't play lazily against a guy who's fast like Harris. As soon as he got the ball, he was able to cut through the gaps. Guys tried to get him, but it wasn't enough effort, I would say, for them to get Harris. They would have been able to stop him. Maybe this drive would have been a little bit different, but their life was really already gone. They were rattling from what happened on offense and kind of fall into the defense, and at least a touchdown for UTF.
The onside throw goes out of bounds. HGH takes it at the 45-yard line for now. Mr. throws a Herb on the sideline for a decent game. Then Mr. throws on the sideline again, get him to the 10-yard line. 4th down. Mr. on 5 rush, throws to Kaheem in the corner of the end zone. High, incomplete, turnover on downs. Mr. is stopped again when he gets the ball.
And I don't see a difference with this choice. You know, you take out Crazy, you bring in Mr., and the same thing is happening. Only thing that's different is Mr.'s not throwing interceptions, so I guess that's good. But the fact that you're not able to score, you're not able to move the ball the way you need to and get into the end zone, so it's the same result at the end of the day. So this is what's hurting your defense. Your morale on your team is all over the place. So I don't think that this switch right now is helping them because they're still turning over the ball.
OTF gets the ball, and on third down, after 2 short passes, Lou throws to Alex in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down, ending the game. OTF with the win, 25-15 over Haters Gonna Hate.
And one thing that I noticed with this OTF team is I noticed that after the first half where Ty was doing everything for this team, they go away from him.
Yeah.
You know, they started going to Harris. And mind you, Harris did score a touchdown, but they went away from Ty. I think that if it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep looking for him. Right. Obviously, this team cannot stop him, so you keep looking for him. But again, I'm not going to kill him because they still won the game. Harris also had a good game with 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So these 2 guys made sure that they stepped up for this team, and they're 2 of the reasons why this team came away with the win right now.
We're going to jump into the interview with OTF's Ty and Harris, and then we'll follow up with HGH's Gio and Crazy.
What's going on? Stephen J here with OTF coming off a big win to HGH. Y'all seem to have the game from the beginning. It just took a little more longer time to put it away. But why did it seem that y'all was like really ready to go from the beginning of the game?
We had that team chemistry. Before the game, we set up plays before the game, just make sure everybody's coming on time, make sure everybody's organized, not fooling around before the game, just making sure everybody's together like a family.
What was the reason for y'all switching quarterbacks? Y'all went back and forth. What was that about?
Like me, I'm a little versatile with my legs and my arm, so when I get in that quarterback, I try to start off with my legs to make the defense come up so I can open up that big play for the passing plays.
Ty, brother, I'm looking at your numbers. 3 touchdowns, one of them a big kick return. You seem to be in the zone. Did you have some Wheaties this morning? Like, what was it that have you in the zone today?
This is my first time playing out here. You know, last week we came out kind of slow, so this week I just wanted to punch him in the mouth early. So that was really it. Just wanted to ball out.
Tell me about the kickoff, because I was ready to kill you when you did the show on the kickoff. Y'all looked like y'all botched it, didn't know where it was going. Then you saw a hole, he was gone. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the ball it got lost in the sun, but once I saw the ball, I saw the hole, just took off, and that was that.
What does it feel like to know you have a guy like this who can impact the game so easily?
Well, I played with him ever since high school, so I already know what he could do. So that's it.
Why when we hear teams, last question, why when we hear people talk about the C2 division, we never hear them talk about OTF? I've never heard OTF being one of the favorites coming out of the C2.
They don't know, but we got a chip. So, but we're the underdogs, and we stay like that because we want to come up on top.
Yeah, this is a new year. New year, new faces.
We're going to go to that chip.
Yeah.
All right, OTF with a big win over HGH, 25-15. These guys are in the zone. These are some playmakers right here. C2 divisions on notice, man. See you on the site. What's going on? Stephen J here with HGH. Heartbreaking loss, 25-15. What happened this game?
Second half, they turned on. We had the first half, we came back. Second half, we was down 6. 2 picks he threw us. Play as a team, lose as a team.
How you let this one guy, Ty, kill you? 2 touchdowns, and he ran a kickback. What was the reasoning with the defense? What was going on with that?
They talk. They want to play man. They up. A kick return, they contain. Blockers, they had a good block. They took it all away. That's it.
Crazy. We see you make one big play, then we mistake. Another good play, then mistake. What's up? Why you seems to be so inconsistent?
Basically just my error. Nothing else to say. Nothing behind that. Other than that, you know what I mean, just trying to build a team, get it together, and make something positive happen. If I'm trying to force it, then I need to fall back on that and just let it fall in and play in part.
I want to ask you a big question, Gio, right in front of Crazy. Mister was just supposed to throw for Wolfpack. It didn't work out. We see him come to this team. We see him play defense. We see him play offense. We even seen him throw. Is there going to be a quarterback controversy when he struggled, Crazy struggle, he goes in? Because it looked like Crazy wasn't getting it done, and you put him in to try to change up the offense a little bit.
We talk about it second half. I told Crazy, we're going to do some moves. We're going to change it. Let's see what happens. But next week, he's my main quarterback. We already know Mr. going to come back every game. If he's Crazy up, he's the backup. That's how it is. If we play as a family, we play as a team. That's it.
Bottom line, I ain't bring my A game. Team ain't bring the A game. We just got to, you know what I mean? Pack it up, pack it in, and bring it back out.
Next week, that's
Bottom
it.
line.
All right, we're going to thank these guys, man. We're seeing the site. You just talked about OTF, and I'm going to tell you about haters gonna hate. Hit the ball 7 times. They scored twice. 7 possessions. You scored twice. Crazy threw 2 interceptions, but he scored 2 touchdowns. That's crazy like.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. You brought in Mister, and Mister got stopped twice. Now, I know you went with Mister because Crazy threw an interception on his last possession, but Mister didn't do anything, and then the defense let down. I understand what they're saying, you know, what Gio said, yeah, Crazy's my starter, then why you benched him? Why did you bench him? If you look at it, when you benched him, you were still in the game. You were still in the game when you benched him. If you look here, when they benched Crazy after the interception, right? Score was 19-15. You're still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy threw a pick. He did. But OTF got the ball back, and HGH stopped them. Chasing 4. You bench your quarterback. Chasing 4. And you want me to believe now Crazy's your starter? That makes no sense. Now, when they scored, they were trailing 10. You put Mister in and say, let's see what he can do. But you were trailing 4, getting the ball back, and you bench your starter. Now, either Gio don't know what he's doing, or he don't have faith in Crazy.
But I'm going to add to that because, again, this is a team reason why they lost. It's a lot of team decisions that were made that caused them to lose this game. Okay, I'm not going to kill them for the kick return. They should have stopped that, but fine. These things don't happen commonly. Then, in the second half...
Wait, commonly?
Yeah.
Did you see where that ball bounced?
I get
These guys didn't know. That's coaching or leadership. Who the hell is the leader?
Listen, but again, that's 1 touchdown. They made a mistake. But the defensive touchdowns, there's no excuse for that. That's just your defense didn't play the way they're supposed to.
But Ghost.
So no, but let me finish. Then you have another play where Crazy gets sacked with Gio standing there at blocker. And then there's certain plays where Crazy does not have a blocker, so he's either forced to run or throw the ball. Gio's there to protect him, you know? But he's going out at tight end. I don't think that helps you more than having Crazy get that extra time and being protected. Now, one, Crazy doesn't always wait for that block, so this whole team has issues with the way they move forward. So it's not just Crazy with the quarterback position. It's their defense. It's decisions they make on offense. It's everything combined why they lost this game.
Gio runs this team.
Yes.
Now,
Unfortunately, a lot of people, Gio wants to play in Casino. Gio wants to play in City Island. He's a football thought.
Yeah.
Call it what it is. I'm calling it what it is. He's a football thought. There's nothing wrong with that in football.
Listen,
It's
you love football, man. Everybody's done it at least once.
But he's never
in your
led a
career.
team. When he played with the unit, he wasn't really their leader. This is his team.
Yeah.
And you know what's going on? It's reflecting his leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Their action, the way they are, is a reflection of leadership.
Yeah.
Let me look at if you look at the last game,
And
they lost to Power Circle.
Yeah.
20-14.
I was just about to ask you.
Now you just lose to OTF 25-15, where you bench your starting quarterback chasing 4.
Yeah.
And so what are you going to do? You're going to go a crazy next game? Why?
Yeah.
What's the point?
And that's why I say, okay, remember before when I said before with certain teams, and first week, first game, we're not going to kill them or whatever. But this is your second game, and you have completely different problems than when you had the first game. So my thing is, these are problems. Now you have issues when you bring in a quarterback controversy such as this, and then even in the interview you say, yo, if Crazy's, not doing well, we going to put in Mister or whatever. That's not something that you want to say when you come away with a loss because you switch your quarterback.
I'm going to wrap it up, but I'm going to tell you 2 major points. One, this team don't know where they're going. They lost their second game. He benched his starting quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Chasing 4 with him getting the ball back. And he picked up a quarterback that just left another team the same morning and had him come in the game.
And I think
Crazy
that's what hurt more.
will not be the starting quarterback come mid-season. Crazy will not be the starting quarterback come mid-season. Mr. will be the starter. And you can book it.
Is that so? That's an opinion or a
I'm
declaration?
telling you
that's exactly
that is going to happen
Okay.
because that's why you would do this move from now. Because other than that, it makes no sense. We're going to wrap this game up with OTF coming away with the win, 25-15. We're going to be right back. Next game up, Power Circle versus Bullies. Power Circle's coming off of a win. They beat HGH 20-14. That's not saying much because HGH ain't a very good team, as we just saw.
Yeah.
And Bullies is coming off of a spanking to OTF 29-12. I like Bullies. They can stretch.
You said they spanked OTF?
I'm sorry. Bullies got spanked by OTF 29-12.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
I like Bullies. They can really stretch the field. You're not going to really see them do it this game. But
I just, you see the smile on my face because I hope you understand what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
All of that's fine and dandy. Yes, they can stretch the field. Pierre is probably one of the most dangerous receivers in the league.
That runs slow.
He's slow, but he makes up for
He
it
always
with the way
finds
he's...
way, yeah.
He could jump out the gym, all of that. We already know that. We've seen him play before.
Right.
They have a lot of tall receivers in Keith. They have Paul. I'm sorry. They have Keith. They have Reem.
Yeah.
And they have Pierre.
Yeah.
So all of these guys, they have a dangerous core offense.
Right.
I've never seen the Bullies have a defense.
No.
Never seen this team have a defense.
No. They can't stop a runny nose.
Exactly. And that is my issue. As good as you are on offense, it's almost like they give up more points on defense than they score. Mm-hmm. You can't win that way. That was my issue with the Bullies. You can like them as much as you want, but if they don't, I don't want to critique them before they start the game.
Right.
But that was my main issue with them. You want to watch them and you want to enjoy them and see them win, but that was one issue they've always had. Hopefully this season they could put it together, especially in a game like this that they play right now.
And they play a Power Circle team led by Wayne at quarterback, and he's a very, very underrated quarterback in the C2 division. I think his Wayne is pretty good. Got a decent arm. He could run.
Yeah.
It's not a big time runner, but he surprises you
Yes.
with the run.
And that's the word. That's the right word to
when
use.
he runs, it's like he's running from somebody.
Yeah.
So you know when you really don't want to run, but you have to run.
Yeah.
He looks like he doesn't want to run, but
But
he's
he
running
gets
from-
it done.
Yes. Like he'll run for a first down here and there. You know, they added. You figure they have a lot of the grave diggers core.
Yeah.
That makes them a very good team, and they this week we'll see Canarsie playing. Canarsie was one of my faves when I came into this league. Gained a little weight, not gonna lie, gained a little weight. I think he looks a little like the way Martin looks in Bad Boys 3. But Canarsie can still.
Oh, so you're saying that he just, he's enjoying life.
Yeah.
You know, you've been through it, so that happens.
But I think he's still a weapon. We got to see how much of a weapon he is because
Yeah.
I've seen Canarsie dominate games.
Yeah.
And when you have a few extra pounds, you may not be able to dominate like you used to.
Yeah, but the football mentality
Yes.
and the IQ doesn't change. So he's still going to be able to make some plays out there that others can't just because of his own experience on the field.
And they still got, and altogether, they got some weapons. I think this should be a top team in the C2 division. But they got to get by a Bullies team. Mind you, they won their last game. So they're beating the team that they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
This is a team that they should beat, but we're going to have to see how it goes. We're going to jump right into the game. After a pass for the first down, Wayne throws a Hemsky in the gap for a nice gain. Get him to the 10-yard line. 4th and goal after a short pass. Wayne finds Killer in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Canarsie gets the extra point, 7-0. We've seen Killer now in the last few weeks make some plays. He's a playmaker. He's a guy that you have to talk about more now, and we see him making plays in consecutive weeks.
And he's a person you also got to mention on this team because he's one person, especially on offense, that can get lost in defense. He's very athletic, very fast, and he finds a way to get open consistently, and that's why you're going to see more of him as defenses sleep on him, and he's able to make a touchdown here.
We're going to jump to Bullies now. Paul isn't here, and we haven't really seen Paul. Kelvin is going to get the throw. Second half, the short pass. Kelvin throws the Pierre in the middle for a decent gain. Get him to the 10-yard line. 4th and goal. Kelvin throws the Keith, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Keith catches Troy in an in and out, back in the end zone. 7-6, Bullies score right back.
And right here, Kelvin noticed the mismatch here. Troy, not a slow guy, but there's no way that Troy is able to stay with Keith,
No way.
who has a huge height advantage
Absolutely.
over Troy. And that is why on the 1-on-1, any quarterback in their right mind, even Troy knew that he was in trouble when he locked up on Keith. And that's why Kelvin was able to find him in the corner of the end zone for that touchdown.
After getting the first down, Wayne throws Zeke to Hemsky midfield, way off target, incomplete. 3rd down, Wayne throws Zeke to Canarsie in the back of the end zone. Short, picked off by Ream, giving it back to the Bullies. If you look here, Killer opening the gap, Wayne misses him. And that's what happens with Wayne sometimes. Sometimes his problem is he locks in. If you look here, he is locked into Canarsie. He's locked. Not even looking at Killer, and he throws an interception.
And one, he was locked in on Canarsie, didn't look at the other side of the field. And it's only 3rd down.
Right.
And then when you make the throw, it's way short. So
He doesn't
it's almost
have
like
the strongest arm in the
so
league,
it looked like it landed right into Ream's hands. And the thing about these guys is they are too tall, and they're too tall for you to think that you're gonna throw over them. So that's one reason why, even though they're known, they're better on offense, you still can't think that you're gonna throw over them. And Ream is able to make an interception there.
Second down, Calvin on 5 rush is sacked by Spank. Now Spank can't catch, and Spank will not get a lot of interceptions at all. But the guy can sack the quarterback. Big sack there by him. 3rd down, Kelvin on 5 rush, throws deep to Pierre in the middle, almost picked off by Canarsie. Bullies are going to have to punt. And Canarcie's shown the ability to jump with Pierre. If there's one guy that can jump with him, it's Canarsie. Even though I said he's not the same Canarsie before, he still always finds a way to locate the ball. Big play by him there.
And I think that the key play to that turnover, that forced punt, was that sack on 2nd down.
Yeah.
And that's because the secondary was able to lock down, cut out the gaps. And by the time Kelvin looked like he wanted to throw, Spank was already there for the sack. And you got to understand, On a 5 rush, it's not easy to get sacks.
Yeah.
So for Spank to be able to get as many sacks as he does on the 5 rush just shows that he's able to get the quarterback and at least them punting here.
Second down, Wayne throws a Hemsky in the gap for a nice gain. Fourth down, Wayne rolls left on 5 rush, throws a Lala in the front of the end zone, picked off by Flip, giving it back to the Bullies. Wayne is flagged for stepping over the line. Bullies get the ball at the 10. Again, bad interceptions by Wayne. You cannot make these interceptions. That's a terrible throw. The penalty doesn't hurt them because at the end of the day, he's still throwing an interception. Bad play by Wayne.
But my thing is, there's many things that you did wrong on this play. First of all, you're forcing passes.
Yes.
Second of all, you cross the line because you're being pressured. So regardless of what, even if you didn't throw the interception, you still turn over the ball because you cross the line. So everything was wrong about this play, and that shows that you're struggling to score against the Bullies. Something you ain't doing right, because again, nothing against the Bullies, but they're not the best defense on the field, and you're struggling to score against them.
And they gave up 29 points last week.
Yes, so the fact that you're struggling against them, that means that your game plan is not working, and I'm talking about power circle right now.
Calvin, with 3 passes for a big game, picking up the first down. Last play of the half, Calvin throws it up to Pierre in the back of the end zone. Incomplete, taking us into the half. 7-6, power circle.
And this is a disappointing half if you're power circle. I mean, this is a team in the Bullies that gave up 25 points to OTF, in their last game. And you're struggling to score 7.
Yep.
That shows that your offense is struggling. I don't care how many points you scored. You barely scored 7. So whatever you're doing on offense is not working. Wayne has to make better decisions out there.
Yeah.
He got to find certain receivers in the gaps. He's missing them, and he's forcing passes up there. I get that you have Canarsie there, but every pass does not need to go to him. They're watching him and looking for you to throw to him, and because of that, that's why you only have 7 points in this first half.
Listen, Bullies are not the same team without Paul. It's not the same. Pierre does not look the same without his brother, and he needs his brother to get him the ball. It's not the same. You don't see him making big plays going downfield. This offense does not look the same. Now, Calvin is a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not a Paul. Doesn't have Paul's arm strength, doesn't have Paul's height, and it's showing. Now, Bullies are playing defense. They gave up 6 points so far. I'll take it if I'm them because their defense usually is horrible. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
This is a game we can steal away. We need this game coming off of a loss. So we got smacked last week. We need this game, and we'll have the opportunity to take this on the road. Second half, Calvin throws the Pierre, cutting in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first down. Then Calvin throws the Keith on the sideline, getting him to the 1-yard line. Second and goal, Calvin finds Pierre in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, nobody stays with Pierre cutting in the back. Kadeem get the extra point, 14-7, Bullies.
And one thing I could say about this Bullies team is they have the size advantage on offense.
Absolutely.
They have 3 of their guys are taller than half the guys on the power circle team. So because of that, they have an advantage with Kelvin being able to throw over many of these guys on power circle side. So eventually you was going to see this happen. And finally, Kelvin is able to connect with Pierre, something that should have been happening early in the game. But they finally connect after this, the end of the first half. And now they have the engines moving on offense.
And they take their first lead of the game. Second half, after getting the first, Wayne throws deep to Hemsky, cutting in the back of the end zone, almost intercepted. Third down, Wayne on 5 rush, rolls right, throws a lot on the sideline, who runs across for a decent gain. Fourth down, Wayne rolls left on 5 rush, throws it up in the end zone, tipped and caught. Tipped and then is caught by Canarsie in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Canarsie gets the extra point, 14-14, power circle ties it up.
I'm going to say this. That play right there, I was almost going to say that that's a fluke play. But if you get a hand on it on a defense, you got to either knock it down or come down with it for the interception. It's fourth down. So I don't mind you catching an interception there.
Right.
As long as you're not giving the opportunity for the other team to catch the ball. So because he doesn't come down with it, Canarsi's at the right place at the right time, and they're able to get the score off of a solid defensive play that leads to scoring.
And like I always say, Canarsie always finds the ball.
Yeah.
Makes 2 big plays here. Great play by him. They tie the game back up. Calvin throws a flip in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Calvin throws a Kadeem in the gap for a nice game. Third down, Calvin again finds Kadeem in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Fourth down to 20, Calvin throws it up, incomplete, turnover on downs. That is a huge stop by Power Circles, slowing down this Bullies offense.
And the thing about it is, after coming off of a score and right out of the second half, the second drive, you're not able to score. I think that drop pass by Kadeem kind of killed them. When you've been struggling on the first half, you finally score, and then on the next one, you drop a big pass, leads to a turnover.
Second down, Wayne throws a Killer in the gap, who runs on the sideline for a big game, picking up the first down. We talked about Killer. This guy showing why they call him that very name. Third down, after a short play, Wayne on 5 rush runs in the gap to the sideline for a nice gain to the 5-yard line. Look at Wayne run. He runs funny, but he knows when to run.
Yes.
That's a big run by Wayne there.
And like you said on this play, that it always looks like he's running away from something.
Yeah.
But regardless of what, it keeps him, it moves him forward, and he gets some big yardage on that play there.
Fourth and goal, Wayne finds Canarsie open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Canarsie caught the ball with Keith in and out route, getting them open. Lala gets the extra point, 21-14 with 2 minutes left. And Canarsie can still ball out. I don't care if it's Luther Vandross skinny Canarsie. I don't care if it's Luther Vandross heavy Canarsie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Luther could still sing.
Yeah.
Canarsie can still score, and he scores again.
And the crazy thing is, look at this play from the very beginning. Look at how Wayne calls the defense. He calls all the receivers to cluster up together. So because of that, you see all of the cornerbacks spread out. You see Keith here spread out all the way to the sideline. As he calls hike, he sees Canarsie cut into the end, cut into his side on the right. What Keith does is he cuts inside, thinking that he has to come and catch Canarsie. He locks up on the man, something he should have never done.
Right.
He cuts in, which leads Canarsie to cut out of the position that Keith was just in. By the time Keith is able to react, Canarsie's wide open for the touchdown. That is a good design play that took advantage of the defense.
He's running like a wide receiver.
Yes.
That's a wide receiver route.
And because of that, they're able to score yet again. Great decision making by Wayne. Great route running by Canarsie for the touchdown.
Second down, after a short pass, Calvin throws to Kadeem open on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Troy said he was out of bounds, and if you look at Killer's guarding nobody. What do you think of the route?
I mean, if you look at this play, it's very close as Troy forces Kadeem to go around him, but it's hard to say if he went out of bounds on this line from this direction.
There was no hat.
So because of that, again, Troy lets him go thinking that he's out of bounds. But if you look here with Killer, who is he guarding back here?
No one.
He's all the way in the end zone. Nobody is that far. And when you're the last line of defense, if you know nobody's coming back that far, you come in and try to close up. He doesn't do that, leaves Kadeem wide open on the sideline for a big play there.
And they're going to follow up with Calvin finding Reem cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Flip gets the extra point, 21-21. Bullies tie it right back.
And this is a mistake on defense on both sides. And if you see here, that play that was given to Kadeem on that play there, that was a huge play. And I think that's what the seal of the deal for this drive. Yes, I know Troy was arguing that he's out of bounds, but you don't see the hat come out.
Right.
That means that he's still a viable player on the field. You still got to stay with him. But I don't call this all on Troy. Killer has to step up. The fact that he was all the way in the end zone, it's like he was asking for them to throw deep. And Kelvin's like, why am I going to do that if you're giving me the lane here? And that's why they end up scoring eventually.
We have a 21-21 tie. Power Circle gets the ball. Wayne on first down throws a Canarsie in the gap, who runs out of bounds for a decent gain, stopping the clock. Third down, Wayne throws a Lala in the gap for a decent gain, getting him to the 10-yard line. 7 seconds left. Last play of the game. Wayne rolls to the left on 5 rush. Throws a Lala in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Calvin going to bobble it. And Shuggy comes out of nowhere, catches the ball in the end zone for the game winner. 27-21, Power Circle with the win.
And one thing I got to say before I break down this play is this man, Shuggy, is probably one of the most underutilized guys
I think so.
that I've seen in the BQFL. These guys do not use him the way that he needs to be used. This guy is talented on both sides of the field. But one thing I could say is he can kill you on offense if you let him.
Right.
So that's one thing I'm going to throw that out there. So other than that, if you look at this play, Lala, you cannot drop passes like this because, again, you got lucky on this one.
Yeah.
So you drop this pass, Kelvin holds on to it or knocks it down. That's
We're
leads
going
to
into overtime.
So you can't afford to drop passes like this. With that being said, Kelvin, you gotta hold on to that ball. I know you didn't expect it to get through, but you gotta try your best to knock the ball down. I think that he was so shocked that the ball came through to him, he didn't expect to react to it in time. Because of that, it fell right into Sugar's hands. This was an escape win for Power Circle. Because I don't think that they would have survived if they would have been able, if they was forced to go into overtime the way that the Bullies were starting to recover on offense. So they got lucky on this game. They played very inconsistent. Wayne was all over the place. Towards the second half, he started to get it together. And the second half is an example of how you should play on offense. Then moving forward, those are the plays that they need to design. Wayne needs to call plays like that, run when he needs to. That's the Wayne we need to see on the field. Yes, the last touchdown was a fluke, in my opinion, but they were able to seal the deal with the win at the end of the day. And shout outs to them, they get the win.
Yeah, I'm looking up something. Let me write this down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't got to stop it. I want y'all to listen to this.
I'm going to wait. You over there doing your maths over there, whatever. So let's see what you come up with so far right now.
Oh, yeah. Because, you know. Okay. I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you. I don't know why you taking so much time. You got to delay the...
Bullies lost this game. 21 points, right? They scored.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. They gave up 27 points. Last game, they gave up 29 points. That's 56 points they gave up in 2 games. That is an average of 28 points a game. This team is giving up 4 touchdowns a game.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne in the first half threw a touchdown. Then they had him throw 2 picks. Well, that must have been the Bullies from a nega universe or bizarre world. Because what did they do in the second half? They let Wayne score 3 times on 3 possessions. That's the Bullies we all know and love. A terrible defense.
Yeah.
Offensively, they were inconsistent. They scored, got stopped twice, scored, got stopped again, and scored. Very inconsistent. But you can deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
They have a terrible defense. They have always had a terrible defense, and they continue to have a terrible defense. You cannot keep to try to put a triangle in a circle space and expect it to fit all of a sudden. Not going to work. This team has to get it together in this division. You have teams in this division that can score. OTF showed they can score. You saw them score 29 points their first game of the season. Primetime can score. You seen them score 28 points. But then you got to worry about the most dangerous offense in the league. You remember who that is? The Little Rascals.
Yeah.
They can score.
Yeah.
What did they score the first game? Their first game, 27 points. You know what they did after that? They scored 32 points. You got to be able to stop somebody. They can't stop a runny nose. That's the problem. This team needs a lot of defensive help. Offensively, they got to get Paul.
Yeah.
Why? Because when they have Paul, Calvin can go play receiver. It's a good receiver. When you're limited, you need all your assets. This team has to get it together. Not looking good right now. 28 points a game? You think you're going to win? I don't care if it's C2, C3, C5, C4, which is explosive.
Yeah.
They need to learn to stop somebody.
I like how you threw the C4 there.
This team need help. This team needs an APP on their defense. It is terrible. I'm not going to say it's the worst I've seen. But they're getting there.
Yeah.
They're definitely getting there. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to go over the games real quick. You're going to see this game right here. Power Circle with the win over the Unit, 20-13. You're going to see Shuggy with 2 touchdowns, and Hensky also scored. Ralph had a receiver to end the game, but he threw it behind to end that game. Big loss by them there. Suicide Squad is going to win over the Chiefs. Richie had 2 touchdowns for Suicide Squad. Pena of the Chiefs had a pick 6 against Heckle. Heckle continues to throw interceptions that cost some points. He has to get better on that. Raiders make their debut, and they beat a very tough East New York boys 25-19 in overtime. Fitty of the Raiders had a big game. He had 2 touchdowns. Raiders making an impact. Remember, this team won a championship in this division to beat. Definitely a good team. And Heavy Hitters lose 19-0 to Primetime. Primetime players are now starting to show up as Heavy Hitters combine with Wolfpack. They're trying to get it together, but right now Primetime is getting it together, looking like they're going to be one of the top teams to beat. We're going to show you some more scores. We'll show you some more scores right here. What's going on, people? What's going on? Stephen J. Ghost came to bring you a quick breakdown really quick. Something that we didn't cover that we wanted to make sure we got on some for last scores and our players of the week. We're going to keep it going by next week. When we cover the C, we're going to be able to put everything together from the players of the week so far in the season. So before we talk about that, I'm going to give you the few last games of the C division. Well, before we give you the play of the game, we're going to give you some other games that we didn't talk about earlier. We're going to give you some quick insight as we give you our players of the week. We're going to have Shockers beating Primetime 7-6. Now, that is a big change up in the pace as we see Shockers with a blowout win last week, and now they kind of scaled it down. So I think that's a cause a little concern as far as them not being able to score as much points. Or the question is, was Primetime just able to stop them?
The thing about it is both teams have the ability to score at any given time, but Ramsey was one of the quarterbacks that you saw and with his team able to score at any given instant that they wanted to. So the fact that they were stuck to scoring only 7 points shows that Primetime must have did something on that defense to have Ramsey struggle in that game. Either that or Ramsey just had a bad game. Regardless of what, they come away with a close win, 7-6.
Blackout beats YG's 30-12, and Blackout is on a roll. This team is able to put up points. It's the second time they put up extremely high amount of points, and they made the other team look like they didn't belong on the same field. And I'm told, I got a rumor in that this is probably Ace's last game starting at quarterback. We heard a rumor that they're bringing Dave to throw. And what would you say if that is true? What do you think that says about Asa and Dave going forward?
I just think that at this point in time, it seems to them that Ace is just not playing well this season. He's not having a good season, and I believe this is their 3rd game in the season so far, and he hasn't really second to 3rd game, and he still hasn't really come back to the same rhythm that they need him to. So I guess they may try to change it up, see what happens with Dave, see if they give him a game off, change their strategy a little bit, and maybe they bring back Ace. I don't think this is a permanent change. They just want to change up the flow for the next game. So that's probably why Dave's coming in.
I believe this is their 2nd game, and I think I disagree with you. Once you go to Dave, you can't go back to Asa. You're already letting Asa know you're not the man for the job right now. We're going to go with a more veteran quarterback because you're not going to bench Dave to go back to Asa. That makes no sense. So I think we will see the last of Asa this season throwing unless Dave does not make it to a game. Then you might see Asa. I think it's a big step up for this team because I think Ace is better as a two-way player than he is a quarterback for this division and this team. Like I said before, I've coached this guy, and I think he is going to make a big impact on both sides of the ball. And Blackout is a team that's hard to stop. We said that Shockers are a team that can probably keep up with them, and then we see Shockers only score 7 and Blackout still going. So Blackout's definitely a team to beat in this division. Next game, not Rockstars beat Newbury 19-12. The thing about that is Rockstars got a quarterback. Mimi of Sour Factory is throwing for this Rockstars team. I think that is huge. Mimi's a high-paced type quarterback, but he's a really underrated quarterback. The guy can score points. I don't think you're going to see him lash out on the Rockstars as he lashes out on his guys.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to, because that's when Mimi's at his best, when he's showing his emotion in his game. The other side is Newbury scored 12 points. And Rock Stars put the guys in a box, and they dared Sarge to throw the ball. The question is, his first week they tied. The second week, now they lost. The question is, if Sarge continues to struggle, do you abandon ship and say, you know what, it was a good try, much respect to you, but go with another quarterback?
And I don't know if I see that happening, because the whole point of them being here is for Sarge to have his
last hurrah.
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. That was the words I was looking for. So that was pretty much the whole point of them being here. So I don't see them stepping up and saying, oh, well, Sarge, we're going to step to the side because we're trying to win, anything like that. It's not necessarily about that. It's giving Sarge the ability to, play his last season on his own terms. Whether it's him struggling, whether it's him winning, I don't think that matters. The point is, he's putting his own effort out there to go out on his own terms, and that's what matters.
And the last game we're going to talk about is the Gravediggers time with Young and Reckless. Now, we've seen Young and Reckless last week. They were able to score touchdowns without throwing any. They ran 2 touchdowns in, and Machine had a pick 6. So for them to be able to score 28 points shows the ability for Mills to score. On the other side, I think this is a good tie for Gravediggers. Now, this is their second tie of the season.
Yeah.
And that kind of hurts, but Chino is putting up points. The first game, I believe he put up 19, and now they scored 28 points. The bottom line is this team show that they can keep up with anybody, and them being able to keep up with a Young and Reckless team, which is one of the top teams in the division, I think is big.
But I disagree with you on speaking positively on that tie, because again, one, this is their second tie. The first tie, they couldn't beat Newbury, a team that now is struggling to score. So now the thing about it is, now you're noticing on both games, they struggle on defense. They can't really hold nobody. So the problem is, okay, they are 0-2-0 now. So they have no losses, but they have no wins. You put that as a loss when you put 2 ties together. That's a loss, because you didn't get any wins. And if you can't hold anybody, those are going to turn into losses eventually if you're not able to stop anybody on defense. I don't look at this positively at all.
And that's our breakdown of those games that we didn't cover. We definitely want to keep it going, letting y'all know what's going on all divisions this season. Now, my player of the week. Now, we're going to go over the players of the week like we said. My player of the week right now is Chris of the Little Rascals. And that's a weird name to say. But they had a big win over Wolfpack, 33-13. And Chris was able to throw 5 touchdown passes. This kid was on another level. Team reminds me of a Shannon. Shannon has more speed, probably a little better of an arm, but he would look like he's a developing guy to develop to become a quarterback like Shannon. This kid played very well. He didn't turn over the ball, no interceptions, and he showed that him on this Little Rascal attack, even though they're young, they are high octane, and he's a great opportunity for him to show what he could do and lead the charge.
And my player of the week is OTF's Ty. He had 3 touchdowns overall, 2 touchdown receptions, and a kick return run back. So this man was touching the ball on every side of the field. Kick return, he made things happen. Going down the field to get some passes, he made it happen. The funny thing is, all of that was in the first half. They kind of went away from him towards the end of the game. So if they would have kept going to him, he probably would have had more stats. So this guy is an athlete. He can score. He's a good target for Lou, and I think that they need to go to him a lot more.
All right, we're going to wrap that up. We wanted to give you a little of a bonus. Next week, we're going to be covering the C division, and it's going to be a great, awesome time, guys. I'm excited. Hopefully, you're enjoying the way the season's going. We're touching up on everybody. Next week, we're going to give our power matchups, the teams that we think what place their power ranking. So it's not always about your record.
Yeah.
It's what we thinking as far as your power ranking. So that's going to be good to talk about. So we're going to wrap it up right now in this bonus footage of Real Tough Talk. We see y'all guys on the site next week. I'm Stephen J, my partner Ghost, and we out of here. Much love, y'all. When we showing the highlight, when we talking about the play of the game, show it in the back first.